Emmy, okay. I'm gonna briefly touch on the Emmy thing, very briefly. But just because, to me, I don't really feel like I want to, deep dive into farming that. And I kind of want to get it out of the way so people understand the situation a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I just want to get out of the way because she is my roommate. She's my very close friend. And I know a lot of people have speculated for a very long time about, oh, well, why do they do this? And what, bro, like, people have been speculating online about every decision that we make ever, and that's fine. But, I do want to say, like, obviously, if you want to know anything in detail that happened, you can go to her VOD, okay? I'm gonna leave it. I'm not going to do a VOD review because, I don't know, for me, I feel a little too closely related to the situation to feel comfortable to, react to something like that to somebody who I care about. It's just not what I want to do. So that's kind of where I'm, at with it. But I obviously do want to make it a point to say, like, obviously, I think most people understand where my stance is. My stance is with Emmy. I have no fear in saying that. I'm not scared in saying that. That's just how I feel. I'm going to support Emmy because Emmy is a friend of mine. And also, at the end of the day, too, I've always been very transparent. I feel like if you can go back in my VODs, I've kept this as straight as I can. I've always been very transparent about the people that I bring onto this stream and the things that I do and the decisions that I make. I feel like I've always been very transparent that when I say that sometimes you will see me not be around somebody. And some people are here for reasons and some people are here for seasons. And I hope that moving forward, this is kind of like a lesson to people that it's not everything is surface level. And you genuinely sometimes don't know what people are going through behind the scenes. You don't know. That goes for anybody. That goes for Emmy. I want to use it as a blanket statement to really highlight like a bunch of streamers. But I just want to say there are a lot of people. Well, let me also say this. There are a lot of bad streamers and bad faith actors that will use this to then turn around and say, well, streamers are all bad and da-da-da-da. But there are genuinely a lot of good people that I've met in this world. I hope that, like, people don't think that every creator you've ever seen are all just these horrible fucking human beings. There are some good people. I'd like to think. Maybe I'm optimistic. I'd like to think that that's the case, And, like, but a lot of times I feel like, you've seen my dad, you see the way my dad is. I was raised a very normal life. I was not raised in an easy life. We struggled growing up. And I feel like I try to keep the people around me that are around me, I want them to be good people. And, I have clearly, I think most people know, now said that I'm very vocal in support of Emmy. And that just is what it is. You know what I mean? That's my girl. I'm obviously more aware and have been more aware of those things for a little bit longer than obviously the internet has as of yesterday. But even yesterday, there were things that I found out that I didn't know. And I live with her. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, like, I hope that people can just, demonstrate a little bit of kindness at the end of the day. And yeah, like, even when she talked about, like, the whole, like, stalker thing and stuff like that, like, bro, again, people just don't know on the internet what is going on. You never know. So try to just, I think the Twitter space and everything has been so toxic recently because people get paid for impressions and negativity rather than just really looking objectively about, like, you just have no idea what's going on. We have security at the house right now because of the situation. It's been a whole thing. And a lot of times you can't talk about that stuff, and none of us can. And so I'm really proud of Emmy, though, for taking the opportunity to highlight that stuff because a lot of women streamers don't do it because when you talk about your stalkers, it only emboldens them. And it sucks that is the case, but it's the same thing with most things women go through. When you talk about one thing, it only emboldens other people to do the same thing. So Emmy is really, really strong for being able to talk about that. And I obviously, elephant in the room, but I don't think it's really an elephant. I think where my stance is. I'm on Emmy's side. You know what I mean? And let me make it very clear. I'm not just on Emmy's side because of, the things that Emmy has told me. I think it's pretty apparent I have disagreed with Miz on multiple different things, and we have had our fair share of disagreements. And I'm pretty sure he would know that as well. So as far as I'm concerned, and people are concerned, it should be no question why I feel that way. And you know, and that's where I'm just gonna leave it. I don't feel the need to personally dogpile, because I don't sometimes like to put my business out there like that. So I'm just not gonna do that. But you know, if you want to know the stuff that happened with Emmy, I encourage you to go watch her VOD, because it was very hard for her to do, and she did not. It wasn't like she came downstairs and we were all celebrating. You know what I mean? It was a very heavy day in this house yesterday. But you know, if that's what she needed to do in order to feel like she was doing the right thing, then I want her to do the right thing, and I'm always gonna support her for that. So, you know, it is what it is. You should be neutral till all the evidence comes out. I'm not gonna do that though, because I know more than you do. You know what I mean? So to make that argument when you're not involved, but I've seen it, is just not, you're just not gonna tell me to do that. I'm sorry. And anybody that would be mad at me for you know, I'm not sticking by my friend just because she's my friend. I'm sticking by my friend because I know what is going on, and that's how I feel about it, you know? And it is what it is. That's just how it is. You can't convince me otherwise. You can't. You know, and it is what it is. Like, I personally, I have no ill will towards anybody. I wish everyone, you know, the best in their lives, just away from me, you know? And that's how I've always been in my life. If somebody does something weird, I wish you the best. Want you to do the best though over there. Like, you know, not anywhere near anything, and move on. And I hope that people can start healing in it. And that's, you know, and that's at the end of the day. But like I said, I just don't, in good faith, I talked to Emmy about this too, so let me clarify, like, it's not anything that Emmy doesn't know. I gave Emmy permission to say my name yesterday too. She knows that. Emmy had permission on other stuff too as well to say if she wanted to, and you know, she can choose what she wants to say and what she doesn't. But I'm the one who gave her permission for my name, just like a lot of other streamers that you heard did. She was very thorough in doing that, and I appreciated that because I wasn't thrown into something that I wasn't aware of. So that's it. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you want to hear more about her and stuff like that and her story, I encourage you to go watch what she said. It's everywhere. You can't really miss it. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think that's you know, something that is beyond that. As I'm sure there's more coming out once lawyers are secure. I'm not personally, okay, I want to make it very clear. I am only, hold on, I want to make something very clear. I am not entangled with all the OTK drama stuff. So if there's other OTK drama stuff that Asma's talking about that's coming out, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I only know about what's going on with my friends in my house. That is business that affected, you know, us and my friends. That's it. I'm not familiar with their, you know, their ins and outs of their OTK drama. I don't think a lot of people are. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. You're in Austin though. I'm so curious, like, you know what this really sparks for me? I'm so curious what people really think about, like, the Austin streamer space. Cause, like, what the fuck does that have to do? Like, I never, even when I lived with Emily, bro, I never went to Emily and said, so what's the drama? Like, I just didn't care. We were just friends in a house. Like, we didn't really do that. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I would also like to say, I know a lot of people are using to say, man, Pogger streamers are weird. But I'm from both. I've now been on both sides, right? I'm friends with a lot of people in WL, and I'm friends with a lot of people in Pogger streamers. And there are a lot of good people in this world. There are a lot of kind creators with kind souls. And hey, I had to talk to some of them yesterday for some personal stuff that I didn't want to get into. And some of them I haven't even spoken to in years. And I can tell you they're still just as kind when I talked to them yesterday as they have been for years. And it was really, really nice that, like, you know, I hope you guys know with all the drama that I think sometimes the negativity is a lot louder than the, you know, the positive good actors. But there are a lot of good actors. It just happens to be, you know, certain things. You know what I mean? It just happens to be certain things. But give love to Emmy, because that's my girl. That's my queen. And I love Emmy, and, you know, I don't think it's a secret that, you know, my whole house, all of us included, are on her side, and I'm always going to be there for her. And I didn't make that decision just because, to clarify, I didn't side with her just because she's a girl. I didn't side with her just because she's my friend. Her and I were actually not even close when we moved in together. I wasn't even aware of a lot of the stuff that was going on up until a certain extent. So for me, it is not about any of that. Because, you know, if I felt like she was wrong, then I would say that she's wrong. But I don't, you know, I've seen the things that I need to see, and I've made my decision, and that is my decision. And it is what it is, you know? And if people don't like it, it is what it is. That's all I'm going to touch on it. If you want to hear more, you can go watch her VOD. She is an amazing, a very, very strong person. And, like, half the things that she deals with when it comes to stalkers and stuff like that, you know, I've dealt with on a partial scale, and it has destroyed my mental. And she is, like, so strong with that stuff. So please